Hey guys, it's 681 Shadow, and welcome to my week 5. Yes, this is actually a bit of a jump, and this is actually more of a big announcement too. I have been brought into the Pokemon I believe it's the. Hold on, let me make sure. It's the. I believe it was a acronym is the PMC. I'll get what it actually stands for. I think it's Pokemon Masters Cup. Not 100% sure on that, but anyways. I've replaced someone in this league. I was given the opportunity to play someone in this league, and so we are starting in week 5. Our starting record is 3-1, and our starting differential is +6, which is ultimately good. So our team, which is seen on the this is the team on the left. We have Cresselia, Volcania, Haxorus, Azel, Fortress, Jolteon, Hitmontop, Rhyperior, Mawile, Swellow, and Mega Venusaur. And then my opponent, which is Trev. Trev's YouTube link will be in the description below. He has Kyurem Black, Tornadus T, Zapdos, Infernape, Doublade, Reuniclus, Alomomola, Suntank, Hitmonchan, Leavanny, and Mega Audino. That's a pretty scary team. It's definitely a scary team. So let's start off by showing you all the teams that I brought. We actually just battled a bit ago. It wasn't too long ago when we battled. So for this, my first mon that I brought Cresselia, nicknamed Hax Goddess, holding the leftovers with Levitate. Typical, like, it's standard to Calm Mind, Moonlight, and 2 attacking moves. One of them being Psychic type. So, and then for my EVs, it's mainly standard except for these 4 into special attack to make sure I can hit certain things. And then, yeah, it's pretty much it for Cresselia. Cresselia was really standard. It wasn't too out there. And then now I have here Swellow. I brought Swellow just in case he had. This is to get rid of any hazards that he may have. Leftovers, and I have leftovers. It's scrappy. I'll go into some errors with this when I get into the battle, but well, I'm really stuttering. But this Defog, Brave Bird, Roost, Ominous Wind. Now, it's all standard until you get out to Ominous Wind. Now you're wondering why do I have Ominous Wind? Well, I have Ominous Wind to hit to have coverage for Ghost types. Ghost type coverage will definitely be a good thing to have for this match. I definitely want to have Ghost type coverage, and even though it doesn't do that much damage, it's base 60. Me getting hacks for some reason decently often. It was like possibility if I got the chance to use Ominous Wind, I could get the 10% chance boost. If I got that, it would put me in a really good position. Maybe I could have put Baton Pass on that, but if I were to get that would actually be an interesting set. But for EVs, I have HP to possibly tank some stuff. Attack and special attack, I have the same amount in just so I can have. I probably should have put a bit more in special attack than in attack. Oh, and also I forgot to mention that this league will be a Wi-Fi league, so my battles from here onwards would be in 3DS. So I do not have a capture card, so I will be having my battles recorded for me. However, the battles from here on will be on 3DS. So, and then I am running max speed because Swallow has a pretty good speed tier, base 125. So now we go into Volcanion, nickname Fire plus Water, because the nickname comes from me thinking, oh, that's a pretty odd combination, isn't it? When I first saw Volcanion's typing, so it specs to land those really powerful attacks. Water Absorb, that's the only ability. Overheat and Steam Eruption for stab coverage. Focus Blast is really good because if I can hit it on the Kyurem Black, for example, it'll do a ton of damage. I can also and I also have Earth Power to possibly hit the Infernape if he brings it. The Doublade gets hit by Earth Power and Overheat. The Infernape also gets hit by Steam Eruption, which is good. And in test battling, I've seen that Spec Steam Eruption is a really powerful move. Like in my test battle I did, it did a ton of damage against an Alomomola. without any special defense investment. So that's something really good for me to have. And so for the EVs, I put some investment into defense and special defense, so hopefully tank some hits, max special attack, and the rest into speed. That's basically what I had for Volcanion. And then next I have coming in from the Blaze Black playthrough, we have Wisconsin the Rhyperior, Banded Solid Rock with Mega Horn, Rock Blast, Earthquake, and Thunder Punch. Now, Mega Horn is the Mega Horn is the main reason I brought this thing, because let's see, if you're looking at both our teams side by side, the most threatening Pokemon on his team to my team is Reuniclus, which is a Pokemon Reuniclus is a Pokemon that Trev is known for. He usually drafts this thing, and it has swept teams. I've heard, and it's definitely a pretty big threat. And seeing my team, I don't have much of a stop to it. So after some testing and thinking through what I can do, my best bet would be to have a Mega Horn Rhyperior that just barely outspeeds the Reuniclus, because he would probably not run max speed on Reuniclus. That just sounds like something that would not happen, because Reuniclus is meant to be a tankymon rather than a faster mon, because it has like no speed. So, and then Rock Blast for stab, Earthquake for stab. They could definitely hit things like I know it wouldn't outspeed it, but if I were to somehow, actually no, I may with a para. If I were able to para with, I'll show you Jolteon in just a bit, but if I compare it with Jolteon, let's say if I compare the Kyurem Black, I can definitely try to hit it with that, and I can also hit like the Tornadus T, knock me out, and the Skuntank can get hit with Earthquake. Inferno can get hit with Earthquake, so it can do Blade. Ground is pretty good against this team, it really is. And then Thunder Punch to hit like the Alomomola. Well, I wouldn't say on Alomomola, quite obviously, but just Thunder Punch for more coverage, like the Tornadus T once again. And then my next mon is Jolteon, named TTM Jolt for the Token Minorities Jolt. I gave it Life Orb Volt Absorb with Protect, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Rock, and Thunder Wave. Now Protect, of course, is for scouting. Volt Switch for pivoting, and for electric type stab. The Hidden Power Rock was to have something like, let's say for example, if he's going to switch into Kyurem Black, then Hidden Power Rock would be able to do at least like maybe a third to Kyurem Black, maybe a fourth of the HP, so put on some chip damage, and then Thunder Wave to cripple his team, seeing as his only electric type is his only resist to Thunder Wave is Zapdos, because he has no ground types on his team. And then for the EVs, I put some into defense just in case I needed to survive some physical hit. Full special attack with modest, and then I'm actually not sure why I put I probably forgot to change this. I think I meant to put these into speed. So I think these four are meant to be put in speed, but what's done is done. And that's pretty much it for this set. And then lastly, I have Cabaneri the Haxorus. Speaking of Cabaneri, review will be coming out in a week and 3 days from when you're seeing this. So just to let you guys know that, just random announcement. But we're going the Dragon Dance Lumberry type set with so Lumberry, Mold Breaker, Dragon Dance, Outrage, Taunt, and Superpower. Now basically, Taunt is there for the Reuniclus. Like, let's say for example the Reuniclus is going to switch into me, I'm faster, so I can just set up a Taunt, and he can't set up Combines, which is really good. But of course, this thing doesn't want to take a hit either. So, and then Superpower for fighting coverage on things such as the Kyurem Black, which I could be faster than, depending on what variant, because Kyurem Black is an extremely versatile Pokemon. It could run Life Orb, it could run Scarf, it could be bulky. It's a Wall Breaker, that's a wall, which is pretty crazy. And then it's pretty standard for EVs. It's pretty standard. I put some in HP because you never know if you have to survive something, just barely, and then max attack adamant and max speed. That's what I did for that. I felt like that was a good that was a good combo. And now that's all I have for the team. So we have that team right there. The Cresselia, the Swellow, the Volcanion, the Wisconsin, the Jolteon, and the Haxorus. So now we're going to get into the battle. So for this battle, he brought the Zapdos, the Tornadus Therian, the Kyurem Black, the Skuntank, the Alomomola, and the Reuniclus. So we have it on normal speed, so I can commentate a bit. So let's start watching the battle. So I lead with the Jolteon, and he's going to lead with the Kyurem Black. Now I decide to protect the Scout to see what he's going for. Turns out he's running Toxic, which shows that he's not a hyper offensive. He's more of a bulky Kyurem Black. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. Because he's going to go for Earth Power now, so I went with the Volt Switch. I was predicting the Earth Power, which did in fact go out for me, which was pretty good. And then here I Brave Bird to get chip damage off because I don't know if anything would. I probably should have Volt Switched into Haxorus, but I don't know what that would have done. But I just sack off the, I choke and that thing goes down. And then now I go into Cresselia and let the Cresselia get Toxic, which is another choke on my part. I should have kept this thing alive to deal with the Reuniclus later as a backup to Rhyperior. So then I switch the Cresselia out to this thing, and the Earth Power, and then he roosts here. Then he goes for an Earth Power. Somebody says stay in on the Earth Power, which is also another choke on my part. Which I stay in. I do live. I go for the Focus Blast and miss. If that would have hit, that would have been big. It really would have been big, but it missed, so I have to deal with that. So I go back into Cresselia here. Goes for an Earth Power again, but because of Terravolt, he hits the Earth Power. Which was I actually did not know that, but now I do. More things I can learn. So then he goes for the Ice Beam. I try to go Psychic for chip damage, but here he can just stall me out with the Roosts. So I end up just losing Cresselia because he can just stall me out. And so we're just gonna go through that. I really choked at this beginning point. At this point, I didn't know what I could do to turn it back. So I let him kill me with the Ice Beam there. And then I switch into Haxorus right here. I switch into Cabaneri. And Cabaneri, instead of the Dragon Dance, that's not safe, I just went straight for the Outrage at Okos, which was great. So Haxorus has already picked up one kill. Then he goes up to the Alomomola. I get the Outrage again. Wait, no, what am I trying to say? It took out a ton of its HP, which was good, so. And then I got the Lumberry off for the confusion. So then now I'm going, and then I Outrage again on the. He switches to the Zapdos. The Outrage, but he gets the Static. If he wouldn't have got the Static, that would have been even better for me. Really would have. And then he goes to the Skuntank. He Dark Pulses me, which does a good amount of damage. And then I Outrage one-hit him. So Haxorus has picked up 3 kills in this match so far, which is absolutely insane. I didn't think Haxorus was going to pick up these many kills, and even without a Dragon Dance too. And then here, he just finishes me off with the knockoff. I sack off the Haxorus because it's parried, it's confused, it's not really useful anymore. So then I go into Jolteon right here. He goes for the Protect when I go for the Volt Switch. And then here he doesn't switch into Reuniclus because he probably doesn't think he can tank it with the Reuniclus. So I go for the Volt Switch. It does a good amount of damage to the Alomomola, doing more than half. Then I go in here predicting the Scald. But he goes for the Mirror Coat, taking that out. So then I go for Volt Switch here again, because Volt Switch does work against what he has left. So I crit Volt Switch. It does not matter. The crit did not matter. So I go into Rhyperior right here. And now he's going to switch into the Tornadus. And now he has Grass Knot Tornadus Therian. That's actually very nice prep on his part. I actually did not know it got Grass Knot, so definitely nice prep on his part. So he goes for the U-turn to go into Reuniclus. I Volt Switched right here. And it actually does just under half. I haven't actually calced that yet. I haven't actually calced that, but it did just under half. So then I go for the Thunder Wave on here, and then I Volt Switch to deal with that, and he gets parried, which is great. So I'm not getting so I can't get 2 out unless he switches. And then, well, actually, if he would have switched, I would have won. That would have been a choke on his part. Now I think about it. So then he goes into Reuniclus. I try to Thunder Wave to see if I can get hacks, because you can get paralyzed even if you have Magic Guard, but he does not get paralyzed. There are two ways I could have won there. I could have won either by Volt Switching instead of Thunder Waving and hoping for a crit, or if it was a roll, because I have not calculated, or if it was a roll, I could have kept it in, or could have just Volt Switched, or I could have hoped for the double paralysis. Him getting paralyzed on that first turn, then me Thunder Waving and him living with a sliver of health, and then him getting paralyzed again. That would have given me the 1-0 win. I would have just lived though. I would have been at like 5 HP or something like that, or it would have been like an 0-0. But alas, he won 1-0, which actually takes me out of division lead by 1 differential point, because now we have the same record. We were both 3 wins, 2 losses. I'm at 5 differential and he's at 6 differential now. So that's going to be it for my week 5 match of the PMC. Thank you all for watching. If you want to check out the PMC YouTube channel, where all of the analyst material is uploaded, that will be in the description below. If you want to check out Trev's channel, he's definitely a great guy. He's great at the format. He's also in the NPL, hosted by Token Minorities. Trev's link will be in the description below. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will see you all next time.